Hey guys, today for you I'm going to give you a review for the Leatherwood CMR as close medium range rifle scope. This is a scope made by Leatherwood and Hi-lux. Leatherwood's been around for a long time. They were one of the companies revolutionary in creating new sniper scopes and new optics for the United States military. The Leatherwood Art 2 was a Vietnam era sniper scope that was revolutionary in helping snipers determine the range for their targets. And Leatherwood has been making scopes ever since. Jim Leatherwood, the man who invented the Art 2, passed away, but I believe his son has taken over the business. They still make lots of rifle scopes, and this one is one I've tried out for about 6 months. And it's the Leatherwood, as I said, Leatherwood Hi-lux CMR close medium range scope. And when it comes to AR-15s and other rifles, one of the critical ingredients you need to get nowadays is optics. Although some people still prefer iron sights, the majority of people end up going for optics. And there's a lot of different choices out there, from aim points to EOTechs and ACOGs for high-end military gear. There's lower-end scopes like the Vortex and Burris speed dots and all kinds of ones in between. Really, it's up to you for what you want to use the optic for. If you want magnification, if you just want a simple red dot. But a lot of people like the flexibility of having both. And there are some magnified red dots out there, or some people use the ACOG. But what I wanted was something that could do both without having to have two different layouts. I didn't want to spend $500 on an aim point and then $500 on a magnifier. So what I looked at was this Leatherwood CMR. I'd seen some other reviewers. I wanted to get it and try it out, and I've been really happy with it. It's an excellent scope, and it's probably impossible to beat for the value. A little hard data on it. It has up to 70 MOA of adjustments. It's compatible with both 5.56 and 308 with very minor modifications you'll have to make to your shooting. It's got a 1 to 4x magnification. It is a true 1x. It's a 1.1, I believe, magnification, which is just about as close as a magnified scope can get to 1x. It's got a 24mm objective lens with 30-inch tube. It's got an overall length of 10 inches. It's got 3 inches of eye relief. It's fairly light at 1.5 pounds. Now I have this currently mounted in a Burris PERP mount, which is designed for the AR-15, and this is currently resting on my M4. However, I'm going to switch this optic off for probably a Vortex Spark or any other smaller red dot and put this on my new Sega 308. You guys have seen that video. Just got the Texas dogleg upper for it, or upper rail system for it. That'll be in a different video. I just received it today, and I'll show you the installation for that. But like I said, this is for 5.56. This will be going on a 308, and it won't need any major adjustments. Got a little off track there. It also has a lighted reticle. I'll show you a picture of what the reticle looks like, and it comes in two colors, both red and green. Now once you get it, it's fixed in that color. You're not able to swap between the two of them, so you'll have to make up your mind which one you want. Green is generally preferred because it's easier to see on darker backgrounds, but it's up to you. I actually prefer the red, but I ended up getting the green because I got this one on sale. This also has an incredibly clear optics. They're compared to Night Force, Leopold, and other high-end optics. These are just as clear for a fraction of the price. Normally, inexpensive optics, you kind of have this blue-green effect from them. These are absolutely crystal clear. I'll put it on the. I'll put you a picture up so you can give an idea of what it looks like. But they're incredibly clear optics. One of the unique features of this optic is the zero lock turret and zeroing system, and we'll get to that later and explain to you how it works. But basically, let's get started. The CMR really is intended to fill the role between the CQB red dot sights and a high-precision magnifying scope. The CMR optic is variable between 1 and 4x and has a quick-to-acquire reticle designed for CQB, but also for distance and range finding. It's got capabilities. It's got a built-in bullet drop compensator to help you hold off in range, and mil dot and MOA dots in the scope, and they're etched into the glass. So even if your battery runs out, you will still be able to see all your information on the scope. The reticle is a half moon shape, which is interesting in that it draws attention into the center. The human eye likes to focus on things, and Leatherwood got together with a couple other manufacturers and a couple actually different countries to design this half-moon shaped reticle. And with the particular shape on it, it will focus your eye towards the middle, towards the dot in the center. So it actually helps you aim the scope properly. When zeroed at 100 yards, the BDC was able to hold right on target at 62 with 62 grain 5.56. 55 grain I found is pretty close too. It's definitely close enough for what you'd consider torso hits at range. If you're using something really exotic like 77 grain MK 62 or 262 or 75 grain Hornady bullets, you're going to want to go to the range and really set up the bullet drop compensator for you. It's not going to quite be on target. It'll be fairly close, but if you're using that exotic grain, yeah, you really need to go out and zero the rifle for yourself. You're going to need to mount this generally high rings. The scope is kind of thick, and it has a hard time mounting with standard rings. It won't really mount on low rings. Like I said, I'm using the Burris PERP mount. As long as you have any 30mm rings that are fairly high up, it should mount without any problems. But you do need to get the high ones. I tried the low rings and I had problems mounting it. With this particular setup on the M4, you do see the front sight, but it's so close. It's so blurred by the optic, you don't really pick it up. You'll see to the very bottom of your sight, and it will not interfere with your aiming. The scope also has 11 different settings for luminosity, including a night vision setting, which a lot of inexpensive optics don't have. So that's really interesting. Now, the way you zero the rifle is with this really interesting zero lock system that pretty much makes it idiot proof. Basically, you'll back these screws out, there's two on the top, two on the side, with an Allen key, and then you can adjust the turrets. I don't know if you can see them here. Let me get in close. Back and forth to zero your rifle. Now when you back these out, this will stay at 0, but the crosshairs will move, so you can zero your rifle without having to adjust the turrets and do a lot of other things you'll have to finagle with on a normal scope. So that makes it really idiot proof. The height adjustment on this is also unique, is that once you get it set, you can crank it all the way up to maximum, crank it all the way down, and it will stop automatically at what you zeroed the rifle at. 100 yards, 250 yards, whatever you zeroed, it will have a mark, and it will click and hit to that point and then stop. So you can't scroll down past your 0. If you scroll up to max and scroll back down, it will hold the 0. Now obviously that's kind of stupid on the windage adjustment, so it doesn't have that feature, so which makes sense obviously in the way you're supposed to be using it. The scope runs off of the CR 2032 battery, and it comes with two, one in the scope obviously and one for a spare. So the 2032 is cheap and highly available. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's kind of a quick summary of it. Like I said, I've shot with it, and it's very accurate. It's a very high quality scope. It's hefty, and it's hefty as far as durable, but it's not too heavy. Like I said, it only weighs just over a pound. I think it's 1.5 pounds. So definitely consider picking one up. For the price point, they're right now around $200-300. It's an excellent scope. It's as good as the high-end Night Force Leopold, and probably his glass is as good as the ACOGs. So it's definitely a high quality. Basically summing it up, guys, it's very high quality, super clear glass. It's got an excellent, easy-to-use reticle. It does have some cons. What I've noticed when I'm shooting is that the turrets are really easy to move, as you can see, just by a small amount of force. And that can kind of throw you off, so you got to be careful about this. One thing I am kind of concerned about with this is it doesn't have a sunshade. And while it isn't a problem all the time, I did notice that when I occasionally would put it towards the sun and it would come in and practically blind me. That's kind of a downer. They may need to put some kind of extended sunshade or something on it to help dim that out. One small thing that's on it is the magnification knob is right here, and it's stiff, not overly stiff, but it's kind of hard to get a grip on. However, as you can see the screw here, there is an extension for about $20 that extends it out about that far out. I would definitely recommend getting one. I'll order one here soon, because that's the only thing I don't like about getting this adjusted, is the magnification is kind of a bit stiff. There is also back here, if I get the lens cap off, it's going to work with me. Come on. There you go. A focus right here for the magnification so you can focus it to your eye, which is really, really nice. So all in all, guys, I think it's a great scope for CQB, for dangerous game hunting and personal defense. There's not a whole lot of scopes out there that are as good as this one for the 1 to 400 meter range, and there's none for the price point. So it's an excellent scope. If you're looking for an optic, I would strongly recommend one. And thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you later.